Don Criqui with Randy Cross back at Gillette Stadium. An unbelievably nice New Year's Day here in New England. Temperature in the mid-40s, clear and sunny. Great conditions to play. The Patriots won the toss and they've deferred. They're going to send their defense out first as Gostkowski is ready to kick off. He might have made the play that won the game last week, Randy, when he made the kickoff return tackle. Looked like Clyde Gates in Miami was going to go the distance. Gostkowski got him. If he had gone the distance, Miami would have gone up 24-7 at that point. Right now, Gostkowski, who's been to one Pro Bowl, hits the ball and hits it hard. Rogers is back. Justin Rogers, 8 yards deep. Rookie downs the ball, and the Bills will start at their 20. Fitzpatrick, local favorite in New England from his days as an Ivy League Player of the Year at Harvard, coming out. Interceptions have been a problem, but the coaches are quick to say it's a lot more goes into it than Fitzpatrick making bad throws. Signed a huge new contract. He'll be the Bills quarterback for years to come. 29 years old in his 7th year in the league.
And Don, he excels at getting that ball out of his hand. He's got a rookie in Harrison at left tackle and an inexperienced center in Brown sitting in front of him.
And as we know, Randy, he can run if need be. Isaiah Spiller, the I-back, has really been pumping up yards. And he gets them there. Almost got a lot, but the Patriots trip him up. And a first down carry, Brandon Dederick makes the stop. The 4th Bills Center of the Year. Colin Brown taking the snaps to Ryan Fitzpatrick today. Looking at the skill position players. C.J. Spiller, 2nd year from Clemson, has 331 yards rushing in his last 3 games, almost 7 yards a carry. He was the 9th pick in the draft 2 years ago. Hey, he's really starting to look it. 2nd down. Fitzpatrick, out pattern, on target, well thrown, and it's a first down for the Bills as he gets the ball out to the far side, where Kyle Arrington makes the play. An 11-yard gain on the play. Play on defense for Arrington. Hagan makes the catch.
Yeah, it's a beautiful job by Derek Hagan, just running a quick out. Arrington staying well off.
So the Bills moving out now, a first down to their 34-yard line. Arrington and Devin McCourty working at the corners for the Patriots.
Go, 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 go!
Patriots got a lot of guys to the ball. Dane Fletcher and Ninkovich, outside backers, lead the way with Vince Wilfork, nose tackle for New England, going to the Pro Bowl again. Tremendous force inside, double teamed all day. 2.5 sacks. He's got 2 interceptions this year. Gerard Mayo was voted a captain by his teammates in his 2nd year in the league. He's now in his 4th. He's the leading tackler. And then we have Patrick Chung, and this is a big factor, as you know, Randy, him coming back to play safety. He's the best defensive back for New England. He's been out 7 weeks.
Very versatile, covers a lot of field, and is a really instinctive football player.
2nd down and 6. Fitzpatrick throws a fastball. It's low and incomplete. Steve Johnson, Bills' leading receiver with 72 catches, was going for the ball. McCourty was defending. They've been going after McCourty deep in recent weeks, other teams.
And it'll be interesting to see how Buffalo adjusts, because it's really a mind game to start with. What is New England going to do to take Stevie Johnson away? Because Stevie Johnson, receiving-wise, is their big threat. He's the one weapon you have to say, we're going to take that guy away, beat us with everybody else. Right now, it looks like they're going to roll things towards Stevie Johnson.
He's got 6 touchdown catches this year. Bills come in with a 6-9 record. Started 5-2. Throwing a catch. Knockdown hit at the 42-yard line is short of the first down. Johnson got the ball.
Patrick Chung put the electricity there to him coming across. This is a little bit out of the Patriots playbook from when they played earlier, clearing things out and dragging that Z receiver underneath, and Patrick Chung just closes and puts his shoulder right into the chest of the Bills receiver. A very nice job of tackling and staying away from the head and the upper body.
Right away, Randy, he makes an impact play on his return after the 7-week absence. Mormon is back now to punt. Ryan Moorman and Julian Edelman is the punt returner. A fake it is. And the Bills, they want to win this last game. As he said at the outset, no one knows what to expect from the Bills, least of all the Bills themselves. George Wilson, who intercepted Brady in the fourth quarter in the last meeting in September, is the guy that runs it up.
Yeah, one of the upbacks, 37, George Wilson, just a direct snap. Very lightly done. It was an excellent snap, and it's hard to do. Garrison Sanborn's a long snapper, and he handled that perfectly, getting that ball softly to Wilson so he could move forward with it.
Chan Gailey told us yesterday, we've got to run the ball, we've got to possess the ball more on offense. That's one way you can slow down Brady, keep him off the field. Great play fake by Fitzpatrick, going the distance. Man is out there. Interference, it would appear it is.
It's going to be on Molden.
Antoine Molden as they go deep to Derek Hagan.
Yeah, running up into Derek Hagan. Late support over the middle coming from McCourty. McCourty lined up at safety on that last play, was in deep middle. I'm not sure, you know, there is a term of incidental contact. That one looked like they were both looking back at the ball and just got their legs twisted, but the official saw that as pass interference, and this is the ideal situation for Chan Gailey and company. You're staying on the field, you've taken your mistakes, you've taken your positives with that fake punt, and you've stayed on the field to get points.
Bill Levy, our referee. So on the big play, the big penalty play against the Patriots, now Tashard Choice comes in the backfield of the Bills. Timing throw to the end zone. Incomplete. Going to Johnson.
Oh, they had him. Stevie Johnson was behind McCourty. That's on Fitzpatrick. If he throws this ball right at the pylon, leads it out in front of Johnson, doesn't throw it out of bounds, but leads it out in front of him. Look all the space between McCourty and Johnson that was created by that quick burst by the Buffalo receiver.
Randy, as they were all saying last night, Chan Gailey, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Spiller, when you play the Patriots in the red zone, you've got to get touchdowns. You're not going to beat the Patriots kicking field goals. Tashard Choice is the lone runner. Choice heading down and heading in. So the Bills strike first. The big penalty call on the long pass play to Hagan, and Bill Belichick's Patriots find themselves down to Buffalo 6-0.
And the young man that does it, he's reunited with Chan Gailey, his college coach at Georgia Tech, Tashard Choice. Dallas cuts him, Washington cuts him, and Gailey says he's got plenty of good tread left on him. He's a kid that can really run, pass blocks well, pass receives well, and gets the first points of the day.
The pass interference call. A 47-yard pickup for the Bills, setting them up to score the touchdown. Now the extra point by Brandon Coutu, who has just joined the team because of injuries, is up and good. So the Bills come out fast. Opening possession, 7 points. They'll kick off when we come back. Bills go into the bag of tricks on the opening sequence. Get a first down and a fake punt, then a 47-yard penalty pickup on a pass interference. And then they get the running touchdown from Choice. It's 7-0 in the Patriots. Matthew Slater, who will be in the next Pro Bowl, as will 7 other Patriots, takes the ball across the 20 to the 23. So Tom Brady ready to work. Every year is good for Brady. This is one of his very best. The Patriots are ready for their first play from scrimmage, trailing the Bills 7-0. Tom Brady, a quarterback. What he did last week against Miami for the season. Tom Brady's thrown for just under 4,900 yards, fourth biggest total in NFL history, and not done. 105 quarterback rating. It's been overshadowed in the press by Brees breaking the record. Right now, Brees is New Orleans is 190 yards ahead of him, and he's broken Dan Marino's all-time season record. Ridley runs, rookie runner from LSU, who's Bill Belichick says has given us a spark lately. Barnett makes the stop. Brian Waters, a great comeback story, a street free agent, and he is going to the Pro Bowl as a starter for New England, the right guard today. The skill positions, Wes Welker, 116 catches, over 1,500 yards, says he doesn't set goals, doesn't want to get to 100 catches and say, oh, I'm good. He wants to keep going and get 150 if he can. Again, they try Ridley. Not much happening there. Bills have given up a lot of defensive yardage. Marcel Darius, the rookie from Alabama, third overall pick, has been everything they expected. Another rookie, Kelvin Shepard, playing next to Chris Kelsay, who had his best game, some think, as a Bill. 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, one leading to a fumble and subsequent return for a touchdown last week against the Broncos. Brady in the shotgun, needs a long 8, almost 9. Throw comes in low. And so the Patriots go 3 and out. Brady took a hit, Randy, after he released the ball. Jarvis Byrd was defending on the play. Wes Welker was the target. He is most of the time.
They made, and they did a very nice job. Darius and company come up. Kelsay puts a swipe on the ball, but they made Brady uncomfortable stepping up. He had 2 open receivers in the middle of the field, just couldn't hold it long enough to get it to him.
Here's the punt. Hit downfield by Mesko. Leotis McKelvin, who ran one back 80 yards for a touchdown last week, comes up on the ball. Fair catching it. And Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bills coming out to go on offense again with a surprising early lead. In week 3, New England led Buffalo 21-0. Fred Jackson's touchdown tied the game at 24. On the ensuing possession, Braden Florence returned an interception, 27 yards for the lead. And after a Patriots touchdown, Fred Jackson broke free to the 1-yard line, and that would set up the game-winning 28-yard field goal by Ryan Lindell as time expired, and Buffalo won 34-31.
Yeah, losing Jackson was a big deal to this football team. You tend to forget they were 5-2 at one point. It looked like they were going to be right there with the Pats come December.
Well, Bill Belichick said early in the season when Jackson was having his great games, he might be the best back in the league right now. But the injury took him out, and now C.J. Spiller gets nothing from the Patriot defense.
Nice play by Mark Anderson from his defensive end position, coming inside there with Kyle Love, 74, in there at defensive tackle next to Vince Wilfork, just stuffing up the middle.
Loss of about 1 yard. 2nd and 11. Fitzpatrick, 22 touchdowns and 19 interceptions.
Man free, man coverage across the board.
On target, first down and a lot more for the Bills as they cross midfield and get the ball to the 48-yard line of the Patriots. 22-yard gain on the play. You spotted that open guy, Randy, and he got it.
Well, in man free, we're giving actually Hagan on this side an awful lot of pad, and he took advantage of it. He drove up quickly and then cut across, and there was nothing to keep Fitzpatrick connected with his receiver.
Hagan has been a big part of this offense early. He was the guy that was fouled on the 47-yard penalty and pass interference. Set up the touchdown. Throw and catch, and Johnson spins ahead, has plus yards down close to the 42-yard line of the Patriots. An 8-yard gain on the play. Gerard Mayo was on the stop.
Yeah, you know, Arrington misses that first tackle, but this is all about time and possession. And if you can get points, great, but it keeps number 12 in that offense over on the sideline looking at pictures and trying to figure out how they can stay on the field.
Patriots defense comes up on C.J. Spiller. The win today, and the Patriots are the #1 seed in the AFC playoffs. Baltimore Ravens very much in the picture. A win for them at Cincinnati and a New England loss, and they clinch the #1 AFC seed. And the Steelers, they need to win, and the losses by both Baltimore and New England, they could get the #1 seed. So it's a lot in play. Right now, the Patriots playing with the best hand overall with a 12-3 record.
Same look defensively.
There's a penalty marker thrown in by Bill Levy, the referee, from way behind the play as Kyle Love grabs a hold of Ryan Fitzpatrick and throws him down rudely.
Holding, number 67 offense. Penalties decline.
Levitri, the left guard, 67.
Levitri lining up at left guard, working against Love. Here's Love. Watch 74. Working on 67. Uses his hands, quick spin off. Look at that reach out with the left hand. Actually runs by the quarterback and just sort of snags him on the fly coming by him.
Well, it is now 2nd down and 13. Fitzpatrick, deep drop, looking long. He can motor. Nice connection, short of the first down, but it shortens the distance to gain by a lot as Hagan again makes the catch for a 9-yard gain, and Antoine Molden is the defender.
Boy, look at that push. Look at that space. I mean, Hagan drives off, but he really doesn't even have to because Molden is just in deep retreat immediately. That's a gimme. You keep seeing that. Just keep taking it until they move up.
Right now, Randy, they are moving up. They're playing corners up.
Yeah, here's that same look. Single safety high. Looks like man coverage underneath.
Here come blitzers. All on target. Catch not made. Johnson was the target and Arrington was defending.
Yeah, Kyle Arrington, very nice job being on the backside, but you know, let's be honest, that's a pass right there Stevie Johnson should have caught. Fitzpatrick put it away from the defender. The safety high in this defense we've seen on this possession has been McCourty, usually a corner, and now Buffalo again on 4th down is going to try a little something different. They're going to go for it here.
In the opening scoring drive, the Bills converted a 4th down punt fake. Run by Wilson. Now they have 4th down, need 4. Line to gain at 27. They get the first down. A nicely thrown ball as Johnson's tough to cover on these crossing patterns, and early on Ryan Fitzpatrick showing himself to be very good at hitting moving targets.
They're doing an excellent job too against Bill Belichick's defense, rubbing off defenders. The Pats are coming up on what looks like a man defense, and you take an outside receiver, rub him inside, then break him outside. It's tough for that defender to stay right next to a Stevie Johnson.
They couldn't do it again. Now Fitzpatrick checks down to his tight end, Scott Chandler, a free agent who was with the Cowboys, been very productive. That's his 36th catch of the year. He's had 6 for touchdowns. Fletcher was defending on the play, so Bill's playing fast, Randy.
Well, if you're Chan Gailey, Brady in a wool cap on the sideline is the best sight you can see.
That was their game plan. We've got to move the ball, keep our offense out there, and keep Brady off the field. Assessing Brady, Chan Gailey said about 3 times he is absolutely amazing. Here is a ball to the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown Bill. Stevie Johnson with his 7th touchdown catch of the year over Arrington. This is a direct opposite of that Week 3 game when the Patriots took a 21-0 lead at Buffalo.
And you got a flag down. That's going to be a group celebration, I think, call a personal foul against the Bills. With Stevie Johnson.
He didn't slap a bow on it, did he? Or...
Well, no, but didn't see much if he pulled something out. But you know,
after the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct number 13. Celebration. 15-yard penalty will be on the kickoff.
Now here under his shirt, and you can't do that. I don't care if it's something that's written. That goes back to the old Cincinnati Bengal T.O. Ocho Cinco rule. You just can't do that.
How many times do they talk to guys about not doing this stuff? It's a terrific play, an 18-yard touchdown reception.
And really, they're getting a defensive look that is perfect for them. That means you have to, Arrington's, they're giving him a lot of space. They're going to review that touchdown if Stevie Johnson had it.
Here's Bill Levy after
reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
So it is an 18-yard touchdown throw. Ryan Fitzpatrick to Steve Johnson. And the Bills out to a surprising 13-0 lead with Katu out to try the point after.
Well, you sure need to go to the sideline and talk a little about what defense you're going to play from here on forward, because that one isn't working.
Bills offense is working. Fitzpatrick, 8 of 11 for 86 yards and a touchdown so far in the first quarter. Bills kick off again when we come back. We're back to Gillette Stadium. Don Criqui with Randy Cross. The Bills go 70 yards in 10 plays. The scoring throw to Johnson, but his exuberance after the touchdown gives the Bills a long kickoff, and it is run back nicely by Woodhead, and Danny Woodhead will get the ball now for the Patriots at good starting position. Shepard was on the stop.
And we talked about the defense that really isn't working. I mentioned the term man free. Here's a Hedaboo at the free safety position. You have man here, man here, man here, man here, and man here at the top of the screen with Arrington working against Stevie Johnson. Result, touchdown. Beautiful throw by Fitzpatrick.
Really right on target. Here's a guy going to make some beautiful throws. Brady, pump faking, rush is coming downfield, and a penalty marker's thrown in the secondary.
It's going to be against George Wilson, holding safety against Gronkowski.
Here's Billy again.
Illegal contact, number 25, defense. Got penalty, automatic first down.
Coming it on to Norris Searcy. Wilson was right there with him, so the Patriots get a penalty first down. Both the Bills' touchdown drives were kept alive by fourth down conversions. A fake punt, and then the pass completion in the second drive. Brady can make it happen fast. To the run. Ridley gets a little. Let's go to JB and Boomer in New York for this update.
All right, Don. Boone, Houston on the board. Well, good news for the New York Jet fans. Ben Tate's going to take this in 4 yards. 7-0 Houston. TJ Yates, the rookie quarterback for Houston, in for observation, took a blow to the head. Jake Delhomme now quarterbacking the Houston Texans. Don Criqui, Randy Cross.
Okay, thank you, guys. The Patriots down 14-0 early in the game. Last week, they were down 17-0, came back and won it. With a live ball, incomplete pass.
And that's one of the things that when you're a Buffalo Bill or you're a Buffalo fan, you know when you started 5-2 and when the defense is going the way you love it, these kind of plays turn into turnovers. When Wes Welker, normally really steady-handed receiver, gives you that kind of a chance, makes the ball available, you got to take advantage of it.
Welker, he'll be getting it a lot more, as we know, Randy. Tom Brady said of him, he's absolutely a remarkable player. He works to get open on every single plays on the field. Brady's looking, Russell's coming live. He kept the ball, but he is sacked back at the 35-yard line. Arthur Moats comes in, a loss of 11 on the play.
Pretty simple, top of the screen. Light hasn't been out in a while, hasn't played in a while, and at left tackle, he gives up the corner right away, immediately to Arthur Moats, who goes right through that soft left shoulder of Light and goes into the left shoulder of Brady.
And Zoltan Mesko ready to punt again now for the Patriots. McKelvin back. Booming spiral. McKelvin from the 13. Excellent open field tackle on special teams by Sergio Brown. Right back to New York. Another update.
Slim playoff possibilities for the Jets. Well, they got to take care of business. They got to win the game. Great play action pass by Mark Sanchez, rolling to the right, finds Dustin Keller back at the end zone. Jets take the lead over the Dolphins, 7-3 at the end of the first quarter here. Don and Randy.
Okay. One thing that did make sense that Rex Ryan said during the season, Randy, he stated flatly, he said, Bill Belichick is the best coach in the NFL. Hands down, it's not close.
Yeah, you can't argue with the results and the extended excellence that Bill Belichick has built here. And even the guys in his own division, I think, have come to revere Belichick to an event, professionally, that is.
Here's a throw. Tight end gets it. Scott Chandler, a guy in his third year from Iowa. The Bills have had a lot of good luck with free agent signings. Some of their draft picks, really high ones in the recent years, haven't worked out, but they've had some great free agent signings. Chandler one, and certainly Fred Jackson, the running back, the best.
Well, early in the season, Chandler being available and being a big guy that was catching the ball was a huge part of this offense.
Second straight week, the Patriots have gotten off to a slow start. Down 14-0 today, down 17-0 last week. They came back to win.
Empty backfield.
Patriots come with 4. Hard throw on target. Phil Martin is the guy who heads in and gets the first down on a crossing pattern, 13-yard gain. Thought the fantasy season was over? Well, it's not. Play NFL.com Playoff Challenge today. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 47 coming up in New Orleans. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Next Super Bowl, of course, in Indianapolis.
It's Ruvell Martin down on the ground, Don, after that catch and pretty good hit as he was going down. Dane Fletcher was the linebacker trying to make the play initially. Martin escapes from him, but McCourty puts a pretty good hit on Ruvell Martin. Seem to both kind of duck their heads, and little helmet-to-helmet contact that's initiated by the offensive player.
So Martin being attended to. He's a 7th-year player from Saginaw Valley State. And the clock is stopped as the Patriots trying to find a way now to get this Bills offense stopped.
Remember last week, 17-0 going in at halftime to the Miami Dolphins. This has been a slow start now 2 weeks in a row, and the other offense is looking pretty sharp, and the Patriots offense isn't. And if you have a formula, especially starting in a couple weeks, when you get into these playoff situations, and the Pats have been bounced 2 years in a row in the playoffs in their first game, and it's much along these lines. You keep Brady off the field, you move the ball, you play good, tough defense.
Defense, you've got to have that. Defense travels when you come to the playoffs. Offense can be up and down, but right now, Fitzpatrick and the Bills are finding a way to cut through this Patriot defense. On the run throw. I tell you, this Bills pass offense looks about as good as it can be. Nate Jones makes the stop. The catch is made by David Nelson for a 14-yard gain. Last week, they were down for the Patriots 17-0. Then in the second half, they got it going. Tom Brady was the difference. He threw for 217 yards in the second half. 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, as the Patriots rallied for a 27-24 victory over the Dolphins.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick right now is extremely accurate, and that's not a good sign for this 32nd ranked defense for New England.
Again, Patrick threads it in, a tight window. Naaman Roosevelt, another of the free agents who played at the University of Buffalo, out of the slot, ahead for 23 yards.
Yeah, in the last 7 weeks or so, the problem for Ryan Fitzpatrick has been the players have not made plays for him, and he's thrown the ball errantly when it's been in tight situations. But so far, you saw that one was slightly behind him, but his guy made a play for him when it was behind him.
Running is Spiller, bouncing to the outside. Gerard Mayo told us that the Patriots on defense want to set the edge, as he called it, and not allow these bounce plays. But right now, we see them get one.
Watch the patience and the spin by Spiller right here. The spin, he patiently looked for the hole. He breaks the tackle. That's the difference. He runs early, not quite as fast as he was earlier in the season, and even last year as a rookie.
Randy Fitzpatrick completing passes at an 80% completion rate, 12 of 15 for 143 yards and a touchdown.
Another empty backfield, Don, clearly passed.
Again, a crossing pattern. This is Spiller, and he goes in, standing up. So the Bills on offense playing 100 miles an hour, and the Patriots, good as they are, here in Booze.
Well, Chan Gailey and his offensive coaches all day long will take a matchup between C.J. Spiller and Dane Fletcher. 52. Linebacker on the left of your screen. You'll see him just flash in, and he'll be flashing in because he's chasing C.J. Spiller. Spiller, beautiful job of presenting his body to the quarterback for that quick slant pass and then heading straight upfield.
And again, Brandon Coutu is out to try his 3rd extra point of the first quarter. He's good again. And the Bills stunning the Patriots 21-0 with 48 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And the local natives are not happy here in Foxborough, nor should they be. The first defender is not making the tackles, and I tell you, the Bills, you have a great observation there, Don, about the fire and the spit with which they're playing, especially the guy with the ball. Either it's Spiller or anybody. Here's the matchup. Here's Spiller right here, and he is going to go inside, and Dane Fletcher right there, the linebacker, is going to be the guy that's trying to get back to him underneath. He desperately tries to make that tackle, but too much speed and too much field to cover.
Look at that. Here we are, Randy, with the Bills coming in as a decided underdog, you would think, on this field. 3 possessions for the Bills, 3 touchdowns.
Well, this is the Bills team we talked about earlier in the season as being one of the best teams in the NFL. You know, think back to what this offense was doing then. This is what they're doing. The receivers are making the plays. The running back then it was Fred Jackson. Now it's C.J. Spiller. You know, Spiller spent some time at Z receiver in the slot, so he's not unfamiliar as a receiver.
Sure look good on that reception. Woodhead returns for the Patriots. Hard hit put on him as he comes up the middle of the field by Kelvin Shepard, the rookie linebacker from LSU. And now, the one thing about the Patriots, though, as we all know well, they don't panic. They keep playing hard, wait for the game to turn. And they'll be back in it. It's going to take a while now, though, down 21-0.
And with a lead like this, you don't expect a team like Buffalo to let down. You surely expect veterans like Kelsey and whatnot to keep this defense revved up.
Brady, play fakes, gets time, goes underneath, makes the connection to Aaron Hernandez. The Patriots with getting phenomenal production from their 2 second-year tight ends in combination. Gronkowski and Hernandez have caught now 155 passes for 2,000 yards.
Pat's trying to pick up the pace, Don.
They are. They're doing it. Here's a throw to Gronkowski, who grew up in a Buffalo suburb of Amherst, New York. Grew up a Bills fan. He has been a great player, a truly great player in the second year. 83 catches now, 1,230 yards, 15 a catch, 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, the problem with Gronkowski is he's got such a wingspan and such an area you can get him the ball to.
So a lot happens, and it all went the Bills' way in the first quarter. They lead 21-0. A beautiful day in New England and a beautiful first quarter for the Buffalo Bills. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and a stunning 21-0 lead on the Patriots.
And yes, this is the same Buffalo Bills that lost 7 in a row until last week when they beat Denver.
Well, they really routed the Broncos, and now the Patriots go to the run. Bill Belichick telling us he wants to get more balance in his offense, get more run offense, because you get to this time of year and head to the playoffs, you're going to need the running game, particularly in bad weather.
And you know, the young runner Ridley out of LSU, he's got some fresh legs right now too.
Yeah, Ridley's been a terrific player. 5 yards a rush, his average for the season. Even with 360 yards. Brady gets some time, stands in. Underneath he goes to Hernandez. And this super fast tight end from the University of Florida makes his 73rd catch of the year, good for 27 yards and a first down for the Patriots. Wilson on the stop.
You can see the way that Hernandez moves. He's got the body of a tight end, but he's got the feet of a slot receiver. And that's what makes him such an interesting matchup against most safeties in this league.
He was the Mackey Award winner 2 years ago in college as the nation's best tight end in college. Brady throwing strikes again, gets it inside the 25-yard line to Welker, comes back at the ball.
Tom Brady told us on Friday, you know, we got in trouble last week worrying about adjustments, worrying about what the other guys were doing. We weren't running our offense. This fast pace, this is more of their offense.
Again, a stretch run for Ridley. And coming up is Brian Scott, a ninth-year safety out of Penn State. He's had some big moments this year. Had a 42-yard interception return for a score when they played the Bengals.
Yeah, you can complain about tackling in the NFL on a regular basis, but you sure as heck can't complain about it on that play. Brian Scott, beautiful job of wrapping up Ridley and just chunking him to the ground and stopping that play.
Big down now, Randy. Third down. They go to the pitch run. And the Patriots turn the corner and break it. Ridley heading inside the 5-yard line, and Gillette Stadium comes alive. 22-yard run.
This is one of the things that Ridley adds, is that youthful kind of exuberance, that enthusiasm, and that kind of way of finishing a run. Run through the defender, whack through the guy in the other jersey, finish it.
Hand off, Brady. They go up the middle. Is he in? And no signal yet.
Looks like he's right in.
Linesmen come in. Well, the nose of the ball has to be close to the goal line, but it's not over. Didn't crack the plane.
I wanted to bet you couldn't get a deck of cards between the nose of that football and the goal line. Lusaka Polite now signed this week, fullback, 250-pound lead back there in front of Ben Jarvis.
Friday in this play, Brady was over to the top. Law firm. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis over the top, and the Patriots are on the board with 11:58 to play in the first half.
There's something you haven't seen out of the Patriots in a while. The old smash mouth football, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, a football fullback goes in there, makes a nice lead block, and you get your runner over the top, Green Ellis for 6.
He came as a free agent when he joined the Patriots. Gone nearly 2 full seasons now without a fumble. He can elevate. He can right over the Bills defense. Gostowski with a point after. And the Patriots go 77 yards in 9 plays. Brady 4 for 4 throwing in the drive for 46 yards. It's now 21-7 Bills. Patriots kick off next. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis to the Patriots. Number 42 over the top for his 10th touchdown of the season. First score of the day for the Patriots. Now Gostowski ready to kick off for New England. On his 35, and back is Justin Rogers, a rookie from Richmond. Well hit. Touchback. Bills start from their 20. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
Not to mention all the many different angles as far as the playoffs relate, especially in the AFC, the different scenarios that are playing out with these early games and what that means to some of the late games.
One team knows its seed. The Houston Texans are locked into the number 3 seed in the American Conference as they go to the playoffs for the first time in their history. Spiller. And the defense is there for the Patriots. How about the 49ers, who've had a remarkable turnaround year? Back to New York, JD.
Don, they're playing hard for the 2nd seed.
Randy Cross will love this. Shades of Joe Montana to Jerry Rice. All right, that's a little over the top, I get it. But 28 yards, Michael Crabtree in for the touchdown. They're fighting for the number 2 seed. They go on top 14-7.
I think I hear Randy chuckling. Back to Don and Randy.
And you know, guys, that key for the second half of this season's been Crabtree making plays like that. The number 1 pick's finally earning his pay.
I'll tell you what else is worth for the 49ers with plus 26 on turnovers, and Ryan Fitzpatrick close to a late hit. He advances across the 35-yard line. Nothing was there, and he motors for 16 yards. Edelman gets him out of bounds.
Nice job by Julian Edelman making sure he's out of bounds, but I'm not sure if he didn't initially hit him just about the time he went out of bounds.
Fitzpatrick told us with his interception problem during that 7-game losing streak, said he learned there's no 14-point plays with 1 pass. You can't force a screenplay. Nicely lobbed in. Spiller turns the corner. He's not done. He gets the first down. Right to the 47.
Don, how do you like that speed on Spiller, though, when he does put that foot in the ground? We talk about his patience. Well, here's a case where he doesn't have to be patient. Get out there, use the speed, get the corner. I mean, I don't care what angle you have. If he's got a clean angle at the end zone, there's not that many guys in this league who can catch him.
Well, in college at Clemson, he had almost 7,800 all-purpose yards, a second in NCAA history. So you get picked 9th in the first round. Kind of a disappointment as a rookie, but now he is really showing stardom potential. And here come the Patriots with the big rush. Mark Anderson coming hard.
Holding, number 67 offense. Penalties decline.
Levitri overmatched, trying to stop some of these pass rushers. He's flagged again.
Well, Levitri's in here. Outside is Harrison working that tackle. Watch Mark Anderson, 95, right through the shoulder into the back of Fitzpatrick. The hold on the guard, the whiff by the tackle. That's a good play for the Patriots defense.
So Anderson beat the rookie Hairston. Levitri called for the hold, and now it's going to be a loss of 8 on the play, so it'll be a second down. Second and 18 from the 39. Sold out Gillette with a lot of noise. Long pass. Off target. And the game has kind of turned back to the Patriots at this point, although the Bills still have command 21-7. David Nelson, a big rangy free agent from Florida, who's caught 59 this year, was the target.
That ball was just rushed a little bit by Fitzpatrick because he had Nelson wide open on the sideline, trying to cut down on the amount of this third down play, but they didn't, so it's 3rd and 18. This will be a dial-it-up type of a down. You're going to probably rush 3, maybe 4, drop everybody else in coverage.
And these Patriots fans have really amped up the crowd noise. So we'll be back in a moment. Bills in the lead. The Patriots have called the timeout to set their defense. 3rd and 18 for the Bills. Line to gain for the first down, the 42. Patriots close it down, keep it in front of them. Rashard Choice, the check down receiver out of the backfield, so the Patriots defense holds after the Bills on their first 3 possessions of this game in the first quarter scored touchdowns.
Yeah, the Patriots only bringing 3 on the rush. They still flush Fitzpatrick out of there. And now with 8 people back in coverage, it's Julian Edelman, the usual returner slash receiver, now adds defensive back to his resume. How about Welker back to return kicks?
Wes Welker's on the field to return the kick. He's standing at his 9. Ryan Moorman to punt for the Bills. High, very well placed, forcing Welker into a fair catch at his 18-yard line. So Brady and the Patriots ready to go to work again. A 34-yard punt, all net yards. See what makes unforgettable this season's #1 new drama. Poppy Montgomery and Dylan Walsh star. Tuesday, only CBS. Tom Brady and the Patriots down 21-7 on their home field, playing for a first-round bye. Their home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs with a win today, but they're down by 14. Scored their last series. Brady checks down, makes a connection. Not a lot of yards, but it's plus yards to Wes Welker. Shepard doing a good job covering him, the rookie inside backer. Kelvin Shepard. See what happened on the first 3 possessions.
Pretty vanilla, too, offensively. Just real good defense in the first 2 possessions by Buffalo. And then New England and Bill Belichick picked up the pace. It really made a difference on that last drive.
They were definitely running plays much more quickly. Reverse. Pitch reverse. Edelman dives ahead across the 30-yard line. And he has a Patriot first down. Nick Barnett makes the stop.
Yeah, Nick Barnett does a beautiful job. Watch his reaction from his inside linebacker position. Look at him staring inside to Brady. He reacts, and look at him just flat run. Oh, He's made a huge difference on the inside of this defense for Buffalo.
He was actually a quarterback in college at Kent State. Here is a throw in the flat. Welker. Brady told us he sets up defenders. Oh, that time he beats him with a turn move. Playoff picture. New England 12-3 coming in. A win today. Locks it up. Home field advantage. Road to the Super Bowl comes through Gillette Stadium. Baltimore very much in the picture though. Baltimore win at Cincinnati later. Patriot lost and they're losing right now. And the Ravens would have home field. And Pittsburgh still in the home field picture. Ridley, the guy who Belichick says gives us a spark. It's not perfect yet, but he's been very good as a rookie.
Well, Buffalo took Dwan Edwards and Marcel Darius off the field on that second down play, and the Patriots tried to run inside where they were. And the Bills did a very nice job, including Barnett, who was getting in there and stuffing that lead run.
Bills have some enormous guys. Kelvin Hurd has come in. He's 346. Here's a check down to Aaron Hernandez. Bill Belichick told us, Randy, it's very hard to match up with our tight ends. You put a defensive back, not big enough, you put a linebacker on, they can't run with him.
Well, the problem is you take two and you put them on Gronkowski. You take two and put them on Welker. That means Hernandez gets single coverage.
Now the Patriots got the wake-up call when they were down 21-0, and Ridley follows some excellent blocking, drives ahead for a 13-yard gain and a first down.
Very nice job backside by Light. Watch 72, the left tackle. This is a backside power play with the tackle. Everyone blocks down, locks down the hole. Light does a very nice job.
Excellent job. Light, the four-time Pro Bowl player. Here's an open receiver running. Hernandez. He strides in. The Patriots don't panic, and this game has turned.
I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty right there for taunting. High-stepping and looking inside at the safety by Hernandez. But beautiful job. We just talked about it. If you're going to double people up in this offense, that means you get single coverage somewhere else. And there's single coverage right there. You know, Aaron Williams, the corner, looks like he was expecting safety help over the top, and he had nothing behind him when he handed off Hernandez.
Hernandez from the University of Florida is from Bristol, Connecticut, and grew up a Patriots fan, loves playing here, and he's been a highly productive guy. And now, after falling behind 21-0, the Patriots rally back. They're down by 7, and they'll kick off when we come back to New England. Brady with that 39-yard scoring throw to Hernandez, now with 298 career touchdown passes as he inches his way up the all-time leader list.
And on the day, Don came into the game with 48.97. He has 107 yards passing right now. So he's also on the season with 5,004 yards passing. So the third passer to crack that 5,000-yard mark.
He's a long way from done. You had to really wonder, Randy, was the Bills' pace and success sustainable? 3 touchdowns in the first 3 possessions. Now the Patriots have picked up speed. Here's the kickoff. Justin Rogers. Tremendous special teams tackle by Sergio Brown. Second of the day. Here's Brady, 5,004 yards, as you mentioned.
Well, you remember when Dan Marino set that record in '84. Breeze has done it twice, but I wasn't sure anybody ever matched that when Marino put that record up there. And it's a testament to how long it's taken, how great that player was that set that record.
They didn't match it for a long time. Maybe Danny Burrow make a comeback. Try to get it back. Unlikely. How long do you think that record will stand on the new one? The way they're throwing the ball these days. It's just remarkable passing numbers. League-wide has almost been 22 miles of passing yardage this season. C.J. Spiller gets the throw. For more than 30 years, it's been the must-see show, The Pros Watch, unscripted, unrehearsed, and unpredictable. Join JB, Phil, Chris, and Warren inside the NFL Wednesdays on Showtime. And Showtime here today with some pass offense. Explosive plays defined as plays that are 20 yards or more. We've had those. Fitzpatrick. Man, right on target. Out to the 37-yard line. Scott Chandler pays the price. Makes a terrific grab. A 19-yard gain over the middle for a first down.
And the Buffalo Bills and Fitzpatrick have had to kind of adjust this passing game, getting that ball to the tight end, split out wide. Stevie Johnson, who just went over 1,000 yards with his last touchdown catch, has been on the sideline without a helmet. Obviously, Chan Gailey didn't think much of that little performance, so I haven't heard about an injury, so I got to think that's something about his behavior. Remember, his contract's up, too. This is his 4th year.
Here's a long ball. Caught. Exceptional play inside the 35-yard line. As Hagan, who has really been a force in this game, and Bill Belichick very unhappy with his defensive backfield play.
The catch, the possession, the feet. Beautiful job by Hagan, but, you know, that was all about the throw. That's a 29-yard throw that, I tell you, Fitzpatrick put that in the perfect spot.
So the Bills, after their 21-0 lead, now cut to 21-14, driving again. 3:50 to play. Ball on the field and a big loss as Fitzpatrick is on it. Mark Anderson again is a force.
Remember Don Colin Brown in at center, the 4th center on the year. And last week when he came into the game, there was a slight problem. And boy, that is, I can relate to that. When you're shotgun snapping, you're thinking about where you're stepping, what your assignment is, and you forget about the snap. And Brown threw a slider when the call was for a changeup.
Loss of 9. Second and 19 now for the Bills. Patriots 43. Out pattern. Too much on it. 3rd down.
You know, Don, I mentioned about the offensive line. Look, they've had 4 starters. Colin Brown, the only person that's really started every game, Aaron Pierce, who came in, he used to be with the Denver Broncos. It's been nothing but change. They lost 2 guys just last week. So this has been a real upheaval on this offensive line, but they've managed to run block through all that change. And Fitzpatrick coming in, he's only been sacked 21 times on the season.
Yeah, they've got a good job. And he's helped them because he escapes some sacks with that mobility. Here comes the heat. There he goes. Diving to the 36-yard line. A 53-yard field goal from there.
And remember, they have a new kicker, Brandon Kotu. And I think this is out of his range. I would not put it past Chan Gailey in this situation to just go for it here on 4th down.
Game clock down to 2:35 and running.
Play clock's at 12 right now. They still haven't broke the huddle.
Bills in their first 2 touchdowns converted 4th down plays on those drives. And now they want to get some counsel from the sideline and talk this over with head coach Chan Gailey. It's 17 weeks of beard that Ryan Fitzpatrick has developed over the season. Coming up next, Kyle Orton and the Chiefs try to knock out Tim Tebow and the Broncos. Well, the Chargers meet the Raiders. Check local listings. Orton, of course, was the starting quarterback early on at Denver.
Well, if you have the NFL package, you can wear out a couple of sets of batteries flipping back and forth between all those games. I want to see that Baltimore-Cincinnati game bad, but how do you not watch Kyle Orton go back to Denver and play against Tim Tebow and the Broncos and try to knock them out of the playoffs?
This is a much tougher conversion. This is 4th down and 12 for the Bills, 36-yard line of the Patriots.
2 for 2 already on 4th down, Don.
Yep. Fake punt, the first one. 4-yard pickup on the second 4th down conversion. Here come the blitzers. Ball is thrown. And it's incomplete, and Fitzpatrick takes a shot from Patrick Chung. Safety blitz.
Yeah, what a beautiful job. A nice dial-up by Bill Belichick's defense. You bring Patrick Chung left side, 25. Look at this. There's no blockers left. That's one more than they can block. And Ryan Fitzpatrick saw it. He knew it was coming. He had to get rid of it before he got absolutely drilled, but there's just nobody there.
So the Patriots take over the ball, and Brady's a guy that can go a long way with not much time. He gives it Danny Woodhead. As the game clock down to 2:15 and running. Second quarter, Barnett is on the play on defense.
Patriots and Bills both with 2 timeouts here. Still thinking about the end of this half.
Brady, so patient, stands in, fires a fastball to Rob Gronkowski, who for the most part, Randy's been well defended.
Got a flag down on the field. That's right there in the contact hold area by a defensive back.
Holding, number 23 defense. That penalty's declined. It'll be first down.
So we're down now to the 2-minute warning. Bills in the lead, Patriots with the ball, and a lot of time left. You can see here how Tom Brady is heated up. 9 for 9, throwing the ball his last 9 passes. Turn 0-2 of completions starting off, and here is Brady. Look at him throw fastballs. He was a baseball draft choice as a catcher. And the former Bills fan, Rob Gronkowski, who has so much range, Ramsey. You put the ball in a 10-foot air, he's going to get it.
You line up with both those big tight ends in the same spot, and you drag Gronkowski underneath Hernandez for that one.
Brady again, so patient, checks down to Woodhead out of the backfield. Game clock at 1:27 and running. Patriots with 2 timeouts remaining.
And these Patriots are so situationally drilled as a football team, and this is one of the situations they probably practice the most. End of half, end of game.
Incomplete. Welker turned in. Not often you see them off on a misconnection, as Welker said. It makes it so easy playing with Tom Brady. He said he knows what I'm thinking, and I know what he's thinking. Imagine that he was cut, Wes Welker, by San Diego, and he said every time he sees Marty Schottenheimer as the coach, Marty tells him it's the biggest mistake I ever made. Umpire firing in a flag. Moats makes the tackle on Woodhead.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold inside on the Pats.
Holding, number 54, offense. 10-yard penalty, third down.
It's on Brian Waters, the veteran offensive guard. Both guards for the Patriots will be in the Pro Bowl. He and Logan Mankins. And there he is, left side of the screen, 54. Working against Alex Carrington, who's got a handful of the front of that jersey.
So now Brady forced to work with 3rd down and 14.
All right.
Bills bring their safeties way back. Brady. It's intercepted. Barnett. He's not done. And so a big turn of events there with 51 seconds left to play. A 32-yard return and a penalty marker down after the tackle.
You got a late flag in. I think it's got to be some sort of a late hit.
During the return of the interception, personal foul number 29 of the intercepting team. Unnecessarily driving the quarterback into the ground. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you talk about that sharing a brain thing with Wes Welker. Well, again, Tom Brady looks like he's just a little bit off from where Welker's receiving it. He knocks that ball up into the air. And you look at Barnett, you talked about him being a former quarterback. Must have been an option quarterback the way he's running. And remember, after your quarterback is basically a football player. That's away from the play, but that's hardly drilling him into the ground. Come on.
But it is a penalty against the Bills, and so
what's that going to give him, a boo-boo?
So that's at the 48-yard line of the Bills now. They take over the ball with 51 seconds left to play in the half. A 7-point lead for the Bills. 2 timeouts left. And Fitzpatrick again finds a way to get plus yards when he seemingly was going to be swept under.
Mark Anderson, the defensive end, showing great perseverance, coming back to get Fitzpatrick from the back, but 30 seconds left, 2 timeouts still in your back pocket.
Anderson looking like the player he was with the Bears back in 06 when he had 12 sacks. Came here as a free agent. Target was C.J. Spiller. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report.
You got 20 seconds left. You have 2 timeouts left. You also have a brand new kicker in Brandon Kotu. His range, outside of his range, I think they have to get to at least the 32-yard line in this 20 seconds if they want to think field goal.
Rangy David Nelson lined up as a slot receiver right. On target. And again, Ruvell Martin, who was banged up after a catch earlier, is the guy he goes to for a 14-yard gain, and the Bills get a
number 95 defense. Penalties declined. First down.
Anderson jumped off sides. He gets an early start up top there working against Harrison. Ryan Fitzpatrick pays no attention to that early jump and directs a nice quick little flip out there to his receiver, Ruvell Martin.
Fitzpatrick rarely finesses the ball in there. He throws hard. And he's on target today.
You just saw Kotu on the sideline kicking. He's never attempted an NFL field goal. Heck of a kicker in college at Georgia, though.
Another timing out pattern. Nicely done by Naaman Roosevelt, who in one 2-year period for the University of Buffalo caught 210 passes over 2 years.
Okay, 10 seconds left. You still have those 2 timeouts left, so the middle of the field is open, and you are in field goal range right now. So take care of this football. You're looking at a 45-yard attempt or so.
Dave Rayner, who came in after Lindell was hurt. Rayner is also injured, so he's out.
Any pressure, Fitzpatrick has to put this one in the 4th row. You can't take a sack here.
Timing throw. Too high. Hagan was the target. Arrington was defending. He didn't take the sack. Couldn't complete the ball, but they keep things alive with 5 seconds left to play now. 3rd down and 4 at the 27, 21-14 Bills after leading 21-0. So here is Brandon Kotu's first career field goal attempt. Watched him warm up. He looked very good, but who doesn't warm it up in this league, right?
A lot of guys in Buffalo want to see what the new guys got.
Didn't look good on his first NFL try. He's wide left. 45-yard miss. And that is the end of the first half with a score. Buffalo 21, New England 14. As they head to the locker room, here is the field goal try.
Just pulled it slightly left.
(21-14) Bills. We'll be back with the Sprint Halftime Report. First, a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 1-0 lead, but then we all know Brady and we all know the Patriots. This is almost last week like a dress rehearsal for this one. They were down 17-0 at the half last week. Patriots winning the toss had deferred, so they'll get the ball now to start the third quarter. Danny Woodhead comes to an abrupt halt. Looks Kelvin Shepard is a striker, this rookie linebacker from LSU. What's at stake? Everything from a seeding standpoint. Patriots win and they'll have to come back to do it. They clinch the AFC's seed in the playoffs, top seed. Patriot loss, though, a Baltimore win later at Cincinnati. Ravens get home field, and the Steelers and a chance to also get home field. But they need the Patriots to lose. They need the Ravens to lose, and they have to win. Brady, they go to Hernandez on a reverse. Well designed and well executed, and Hernandez, undersized as a tight end at 6'1", 245, but super fast, breaks a 19-yard first down run.
Well, the other tight end, Rob Gronkowski, he's got a touchdown rushing on a tight end around, so why not use the very versatile inside running Hernandez and let him try to show that speed on the outside and show his ability also to sort of finish things off by lowering his shoulder.
Well, he did show that speed and did get extra yards lowering his shoulders, so now it's a first down just across the 40. Great fakes by Brady. Open receiver, and Gronk drops the ball. He isn't shown up very big yet. He will. This guy is emerging as one of the great players at any position in the league.
Well, nicknamed Gronk, but this should be Thunk, because it just gets right into his hands, right into his waist, bounces off his abs, and dribbles to the ground. That was trying to worry about what you're going to do with it after you catch it, not taking care of part A.
Now, they point to run. Fumble is out of bounds by Ridley. George Wilson makes the stop and knocked it free. There's going to be a live ball bouncing along the sideline, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball on the 46-yard line, fumbled it forward another 3 or 4 yards, but it's going to come back to the 46, right where he fumbled the ball as he and the ball parted ways.
So Tom Brady working the offense for New England. 11 of 16 throwing the ball, 134 yardage, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
55, 20.
Again, Brady play fakes. Comes in low to an open Gronkowski. Rare misfire by the super accurate Brady. When we talked to head coach Chan Gailey about an assessment of Brady, he said he's just amazing about 3 different times. Everything he does. Accuracy, his delivery, play under pressure.
And on that last play, they had 5 offensive linemen in the game for extra protection, as well as 2 tight ends.
Now it's 2nd and 10. There's Gronkowski. 6'6", 265, and he can run. Took 2, Rodgers and Wilson to get him down, but it's a 17-yard gain on the play.
Remember, Don, the last time the ball got into his body? Look at him snatch that thing. Those big old hands, big arms. He gets his arms extended. He plucks that ball out of the air, and then he starts heading right upfield.
As we saw in practice, he's high-fiving guys in practice, chest bumping, spiking the ball.
Well, the wildest thing, they were doing the red zone in this 20 area here that we're going into right now, and Gronkowski catches the ball. Brady throws up high. He catches a touchdown. He comes down. He immediately goes over to the pad around the goalpost, and he pulls out one of those easy buttons you see on TV in the commercials.
Yeah, right.
And he starts holding it up in the air. Easy button, easy.
Tom Brady said to us, he said, Gronkowski, he really has fun playing football. Even practicing. Brady again, calmly. This time he comes in low. Incomplete to the 22-yard line, looking at Welker.
Something right now is just a little off between Tom Brady and Wes Welker. Welker drives in, but you see that one foot, that left foot kind of slips out from underneath him. He's not able to drive back when he makes that cut. Brady had the right pass. Welker didn't have his feet.
And now Brady spreads the field on 3rd down and almost 10. Will the ball hit the ground, incomplete. Hernandez was the target. Jarris Bird, who hit a Pro Bowl as a rookie for the Bills with 9 interceptions 3 years ago. His dad was a 2-time Pro Bowl player with the Chargers, Gil Bird. And Gostowski comes in, who's been a tremendous force for the Patriots. Talking to him at the practice Friday. Said he's been to 1 Pro Bowl, and he said that's 1 more than I ever expected to make. But he's got an 85% career field goal success rate. This is a long one. He's got a lot into it. He's on target. 47-yard field goal. And after getting outscored 21-0 in the first quarter, the Patriots have now scored 17 unanswered points. They're down by 4. Patriots kick off when we come back to Foxborough. Back to Gillette Stadium. Gostowski, who just hit the 47-yard field goal for the Patriots, now ready to kick off. As the Patriots down by 21-0 count in the first quarter, are down by 4. Justin Rogers, rookie returner, standing 8 yards deep in the end zone. High spinning kick could come out. It does. Gamble, and the Patriots special teams win it, making the stop inside the 15-yard line. Antoine Molden was the stopper. After the field goal, Bill O'Brien, Patriot coach, is not pleased about something.
And the story broke earlier today, confirmed by CBSSports.com, that he was pretty close to being named the next head coach at Penn State. One of the many names you've heard associated with that, as well as Titans head coach Mike Munchak, who has pretty fervently denied that.
Well, Munchak said at one point he's not a candidate. Then there was more reports that maybe he will be, but now apparently he's not. But right now we have the Bills going to an out pattern to Derek Hagan. Molden on the stop. See, Randy, here the first half possessions by the Bills doesn't get any better than the first 3.
Well, and this is the kind of stats that Fitzpatrick ended up with last time they met up in Buffalo. And you don't have a 3 and out. You've got the right thing going offensively. When your punter Mormon is on the sideline as much as possible, that's what you want if you're Buffalo.
Right now, Bills have a second down and 4 coming up. Fitzpatrick with a deep drop. Checks down. And the Bills are driving ahead to Kevin Brock, a little used tight end with just his second catch of his career with the Bills, and it's good for first down.
And remember, too, Don, they're doing this without Stevie Johnson, who caught that early touchdown pass, was flagged for a celebration, and we're told it's not injury related, him not being in there. I mean, Chan Gailey is very much an old school guy from the standpoint of, I mean what I say, and there is why the Happy New Year message, innocent and innocuous as that is, he's been told differently not to do that.
Hard running C.J. Spiller, in about 200 pounds. Stopped by Anderson on a first down carry. He got close to 5.
Yeah, and CJ told us last night the one thing he wants to work on pretty doggone quick when it comes to the offseason is his upper body strength. He's got good, powerful legs. I mean, when you're that fast and you've been that good, you've got strong legs. But he wants to work on that upper body strength to really help survive the pounding as a running back in this league.
Well, Bill Belichick saying that's the question that the Bills must have about him. Is he a guy that can be a 15 to 20 touch a game guy? Can he hold up under that? No, one thing, the guy can run with a football, and he's down to the 38-yard line. Devin McCourty comes up from the corner position to make the stop.
And, those same questions, honestly, big time, I had those about Reggie Bush when Miami signed him this offseason. And early in the season, he wasn't an every down back, but C.J. Spiller averaging 5.9 yards now in the last month or so running the ball. He's starting to prove to people that, you know what? Am I going to be a flatten my forehead on people kind of running back? No, but I can handle an offense.
And he said he's going to work out with ELT, LaDainian Tomlinson, in the offseason in California. Ball comes in high. On target, Roosevelt can't come down with it. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bills with a 4-point lead, ball at their 38-yard line. Third quarter. So far, Fitzpatrick, 22 of 31 for 258 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And when you talk Spiller and you're talking running backs and you're speaking here of the Buffalo Bills, you've always got to bring back the yeah but. And the yeah but's Fred Jackson. Fred Jackson's out with a knee injury, but man, that's one of the top 2 or 3, 4 running backs in the league when he's healthy and banging away.
I got to think, Randy, this heavy New Year penalty against Stevie Johnson's going to end before long, but right now the Patriot defense having trouble containing C.J. Spiller with those quick change of direction moves.
I don't think so, Don. I think he sits right where he is on the sideline.
Rest of the day.
The rest of the day, and this offense makes do without him. And I really feel not enough coaches make this kind of point to players that are willing to take those kind of penalties, create those kind of penalties at the expense of their team. And it's obviously something, if indeed that's what it is, that Chan Gailey's not willing to tolerate. And this is a circumstance they could sure use him.
Empty backfield now. Patriots bring up blitzers. Fitzpatrick will have to get that quick release working here. He does, incomplete. And the Bills have to punt to the Patriots.
He had to throw a fastball. Fitzpatrick had to rear back and throw one of those really tight spirals that were just drilling in there. And Derek Hagan could not adjust to the ball and make that catch.
This rivalry dates back to the old American Football League in 1960. This is the 104th time the Bills and the Patriots have played.
Goes back to early September 1960, so one of the first ones.
It was. Patriots lead the series 61-41, one tie. Here's a high punt hit downfield. A weird bounce. And so Brady and the Patriots, who have scored 17 unanswered points, get the ball again. Ready to go at New England. Patriots down by 4. Brady, play faking, looking deep. There it goes, long ball. They worked that in practice on Friday. The long ball to Ocho Cinco. A little bit too much on it, so Tom Brady, after that hot streak, Randy, has cooled off a little.
Yeah, he hit 11 straight. He's now one of his last 8 and just barely overthrows Chad Ocho Cinco. And this Patriot team is not lifting their foot off the pedal. They want to get this #1 seed. And, you know, since this combination of Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady has gotten together, that kind of excellence, winning divisions, #1 seeds, Super Bowls, that's become the accepted standard around here.
9 division championships in the last 11 years is phenomenal. Here is a well-executed screenplay, set up the blockers, and there goes the big play. And Jarvis Green Ellis on the run, all the way down to the 19-yard line. Tremendous execution. Justin Rogers saved the touchdown, but it was a 53-yard screen pass play for New England.
Well, watch on the outside, the right outside specifically. Look at the wide receiver blocking. Chad Ocho Cinco gets a nice little block there. The offensive line blocks in front of him.
Now the Patriots, Randy, are coming off the ball with that run game.
It's interesting. You see Ben Jarvis Green Ellis do that with a screen pass. And yeah, he's not known for being terribly fast, but I didn't see anybody trying to get over in front of him too hard. He gets up ahead of steam. He gets some power working.
Fast enough to break it for over 50. So the Patriots now driving toward perhaps the go-ahead touchdown. They've not led the day. Trailed 21-0 in the first quarter. Another big play by Barnett, who intercepted Brady, remember, late in the first half. Hernandez was the target.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play by Nick Barnett, because both he and Hernandez had a little bit of pushing and shoving going on before that pass, but he comes with that backside hand, that left hand, in this case, across the body of Hernandez, and knocks that ball away.
Barnett, a 9th-year player from Oregon State. He was a teammate of Ocho Cinco's with the Oregon State Beavers. Here now is Brady from the shotgun on 3rd down. Beautifully thrown. Down to the 1. And there is the Brady Welker connection.
Yeah, there was no mistiming there, no tripping. Just a beautiful delivery right in the stomach, 15 yards. Looked like it was going to be a touchdown. But now that means Lusaka Polite, the new fullback, comes into the game.
Brady did some play faking and throwing from down here on Friday in the red zone pass drills.
No, that's not Polite. That's Woodhead.
He throws and overshoots a covered receiver intentionally. They'll try their luck on 2nd and goal. Bob Kraft, his son Jonathan. Bob Kraft, so proud of the way this team has rallied back. The chairman and CEO of the New England Patriots. He's the guy that Jeff Saturday, center for the Colts, during the negotiations, he said if it wasn't for Robert Kraft in the room, we wouldn't have gotten a settlement. They have the best labor accord in the history of American labor, sports or otherwise, a 10-year agreement. Reed Ellis runs it.
They tried to run a power play with the fullback in there, Lusaka Polite, and Green Ellis behind him, and they just stuffed it right into the back of the legs, matter of fact, of Marcus Cannon, the rookie tackle, number 61, who's in there. He's limping around a little bit, but that was a really, really nice play by Andre Davis, the linebacker.
The Patriots now go to 3rd down from the 3. Gronkowski's a big target. Brady looks. Brady takes it. Head down, didn't get there.
Wow, he put that head down. He was leading in with that left shoulder. Remember that non-throwing shoulder is the one he banged up last week against Miami. But there's some good goal line defense. Chan Gailey last night, I hear his voice coming back. When they get down there, I don't care how close they get to the goal line. We got to make them kick field goals. And this will be the 2nd field goal of the half, if successful, for Gostkowski.
A 20-yard field goal attempt, if good. And it's highly probable it will be. It'll be a 21-20 game. That is the count. So the Patriots now scored 20 straight points to trail by 1. Bill's defense stiffened after that long 53-yard screen pass play. Got the Patriots a 1st and goal at the 1. They had to settle for a field goal. But they're back to within a point now are the Patriots, a team that trailed the Bills 21-0 in the 1st quarter. Rashard Choice. Justin Rogers is the man who downs the ball. And so, Ryan Fitzpatrick gets his chance again when we come back. Ready to go again in New England. Chan Gailey commanded his team last week before the Denver game to play like pros, and they did. Now he said keep it going. Either go ahead and get better or you fall back. You don't stay the same. And Ryan Fitzpatrick continuing good moves on run plays when his receivers are covered. Sunday, January 15th, Undercover Boss returns with new challenges and huge rewards. That's 2 weeks from tonight. Undercover Boss, only CBS. Gailey, Randy, big on fundamentals, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you look at this football team, sure they had some drags, you know, that 7-game losing streak, but man, this early start and then this offense, the way it's producing here, really gives you a look at what Chan Gailey wants to do for an entire season.
Chan Gailey says you win with fundamentals. That's how you win football games, and Bills came out going as fast as you can play at the outset.
And the play clock expired there, and Fitzpatrick didn't get it off quick enough.
And the Bills succeeded in their game plan to keep their offense on the field and keep Tom Brady off it. But now that Brady's been coming on with regularity, the scoreboard isn't changing.
And remember the year 2000, because it's been since 2000 that Buffalo has won in Foxborough, and it's also been since 2000 that the Patriots have been swept by a divisional opponent
in a year.
Patriots' success story is really phenomenal. 9 division championships in the last 11 years. Intercepted.
Boy, Sterling Moore just drove on that ball. It sure looked like he was just right underneath the receiver at the last second. I'm not sure if Ryan Fitzpatrick, Don, didn't throw that in the perfect spot.
Yeah, he's looking at Ruvell Martin, a big receiver, but as you said, Randy, Sterling Moore, a rookie from SMU, did drive on the throw and make the catch, the interception catch, and it is now first down Patriots, down by 1 in the third quarter of the 25 of the Bills.
That looked like, Martin thought the ball was coming to the outside. He never drove back at the pass. I don't care which direction it was coming. He just sat. You can't do that to your quarterback.
Brady looks. He's running out of time. Ball's on the field. Brady, I think, got it back. Brady reacting quickly. Loss on the play, though. Back to the 29-yard line of the Bills.
I thought it was kind of funny talking to Tom Brady when we did on Friday, asking him about his sore left shoulder. And he says, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, my shoulder's sore. He goes, people forget quarterbacks. So as much as we talk about quarterbacks, because we're football players too. We're supposed to be sore in week 17.
He was in great spirits and had a great practice. Now, handoff goes to Green Ellis. And the Bills defense rises up again. Brian Scott comes up in safety position and makes a stop.
And you young football players, check out this tackle again. We talked about Scott making the tackle earlier. Look at him. Head in front, drove both arms right around the running back and drove him to the ground. That's a proper form tackle. Beautiful job by Scott.
Let's see what Brady does now. 3rd and 15. Here comes the rush. He gets time. On target, ball wide. Then a penalty marker comes in after the ball was tipped. Looks like Kirk Morrison might be flagged.
It might be the left hand holding on a little bit to
Before the pass
Gostkowski.
is thrown, illegal contact.
Gronkowski.
Number 58 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, it's Morrison working against Gronkowski, Don, and Gronkowski uses almost the old, basketball post up, puts the arms out like that, almost holding off the linebacker, and it was the reaction with the left hand and wrapping with the right hand before the ball arrived that drew the flag.
Just before the ball arrived, but it was before the ball arrived, and so now, first down Patriots, 25-yard line of the Bills. Ridley tries to break the defensive front with a burst of speed. He's stopped by Morrison.
Now, you've heard the term used this year of the quarterback. And Bill Belichick's been lucky enough to have a guy like Tom Brady, but you're talking about 5,000-yard passers. He and Drew Brees just chunking this thing like crazy, and potentially 10 guys over 4,000.
Ridley again. And with 3rd down and short coming up. Moats and Morrison on the stop. With a net passing yard. It's almost 22 miles, 109,000 yards.
That's coming into today. 7 4,000-yard passers. 2009, there were 10. 112 games with 300 and more passing yards. The rules definitely favor the quarterback and the receivers.
3rd and 2. Here's Brady. Long ball to the end zone. Touchdown, Gronkowski. His 16th touchdown catch of the year. And when the Bills thought they had a stop, the penalty on Morrison keeps the drive alive.
And Don, we talked about double teaming a guy like Gronkowski. How about no teaming? It looked like they might have tried to double team, but it seems like both guys that were going to double team never got to Gronkowski, and you don't think Brady's going to pick you out when you do that. Patriots right now are going to go for 2 here, try to get this score up to 28-27 or 28-21.
Patriots now rallying back after that early deficit with 26 unanswered points to take the lead. Brady, they go to the run. That's Woodhead taking it in. Danny Woodhead busts up the middle. And they do indeed get it to 28-21.
Got the spread look. Beautiful drop coverage by Buffalo, taken advantage of by Gronkowski, and 195-pound power back, huh?
A 17-yard touchdown throw to Gronkowski by Brady and the two-point conversion. And the Patriots have a 28-21 lead. Look at that. Brady now the second most single-season passing yards in NFL history.
And it's second most because Drew Brees down in New Orleans isn't done today.
Justin Rogers downs the ball. Bills will go from their 20.
Remember the stats we showed you earlier in that full-page graphic about the year of the quarterbacks, but you know, Drew Brees, he's over 300 yards passing today. Aaron Rodgers isn't even playing for Green Bay today, and they still have 24 points on the board. That might be the most amazing quarterback in the league this year, is what Cam Newton's done, rushing and passing as a rookie.
NFL record as a rookie for running touchdowns by a quarterback, 14 for Newton. #1 pick in the last draft. Now the pressure again on Fitzpatrick to jumpstart the Bills. C.J. Spiller, listed at 5'11", 197, second year back out of Clemson, who had almost 7,800 all-purpose yards for Clemson. Second in NCAA history. Gerard Mayo comes up and gets him.
And he's been sort of the primer for this offense, Don. His running, his catching has sparked things pretty good for Buffalo, and Fitzpatrick's taking advantage of the rest.
But Fitzpatrick is going to have to get those big chunks, those explosive plays. Patriots defense gotten a lot better after getting burned early. Out pattern, ball is thrown, and it's completed for a first down.
Yeah, completed there to Ruvell Martin again. Nice low and away. Fitzpatrick put it away from the defensive back.
Down to 35 seconds to play in the third quarter. A game of enormous momentum changes. Bills 21-0 in the first quarter. Patriots 28 points, 10-0 for Buffalo since. Patriots playing for home field in the AFC playoffs. They win this, and they'll be home for every playoff game they play leading up to the Super Bowl. And here's a big stick. Naaman Roosevelt makes the catch for a couple of yards, but the hard hit's put on by Dane Fletcher. That's the end of the third quarter with the Patriots leading 28-21. We'll return after a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back to New England, Don Criqui with Randy Cross, our producer Ken Mack, director Chris Svensson, our entire CBS crew, wishing you and yours Happy New Year and happy holidays as the Bills now to try to rally back. Tremendous swings in this game. Ryan Fitzpatrick is 24 for 35 for the day, 267 yardage, 2 scores, 1 interception. On target, first down Bills across the 45-yard line. Ruvell Martin, Randy, getting a lot of work.
Yeah, you know, if you can think of Fred Jackson being back in this backfield, imagine with some of these young receivers and then adding C.J. Spiller, you know, to the mix as a slot receiver, coming in and catching passes like that. That gives you a possibility of what this offense could do on a regular basis.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, who said he's in the only profession where a degree from Harvard works against you. Not a lot of pro quarterbacks from Harvard. Here is a throw, a slant pattern, and the ball is separated from Hagan by Sterling Moore. The scoreboard is changing in this very important day. Let's go to New York and JB.
A long Miami drive.
21 plays, in fact, the longest drive for any NFL team this year. Here comes Matt Moore. He's going to run away from 2 Jet defenders, find Charles Clay in the back of the end zone. Miami is making it very difficult on the Jets right now, 13-10, deep in the fourth quarter.
Don and Randy.
The Jets are gone unless they come back.
Yeah, how's that Super Bowl thing going?
It'll be a riddle next year. Here's a throw and a catch, and a defender looking to rip the ball away from Hagan. Dane Fletcher working hard to get it, but it's a completed pass. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 now for the Buffalo Bills.
Good job by Hagan of holding on to this one. He dropped the last one that was pretty much in the same spot. Fitzpatrick comes right back to him, gives him another chance, and he holds on to it. This will be 2 downs, I think, for Buffalo, Don. They'll go for it on 4th. They don't get it here.
13:39 to play. They're probably better going for it and letting Brady get the ball again. Throw, misconnection, incomplete. It is 4th down.
I mean, you got to think about it. You got a flag down. I think the penalty is going to be against New England.
For the pass, illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 27 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First down for the Bills on a penalty, hands to the face. Call for that infraction. Antoine Molden, a 4th-year defensive back.
There's Molden working right there. Watch the hands. Left hand right into the chin, right in front of the side judge there.
Patriots have been through a lot of defensive backs, a lot of combinations. Getting a Patrick Chung was a big turn of events for him, a positive one. He was announced for 7 weeks with an injury. Their safety, their best defensive back. So it's first down Bills. 28-21 Patriots. Early 4th quarter. Both times on the ball as C.J. Spiller runs again. Mark Anderson makes the stop. Spiller has now run the ball 11 times for 48 yards.
And there's an example of just sort of taking the defense at what it's showing you and just being willing to stick your nose in there and make a couple of yards on a play that doesn't look like it's going to give you much.
And when he's shown Randy, he'll stick his nose in there. He's a hard-running guy. He also has 4 catches, Spiller, for 40 yards, and now he runs for a first down. So the Bills energized. The penalty call giving them a first down. And it would have been 4th down, hands to the face. Fletcher makes the stop, but the Bills down by 7. Drive to the 32-yard line of the Patriots.
How about that jump cut? Beautiful cut by Spiller. Everything looked closed. He just jumped around it and used that speed.
Live ball, intercepted. Patriots have it. This could go. Evan McCourty runs it all the way back to the Bills' 46-yard line. 38-yard return. Looks like a room service interception. Number 32, Devin McCourty, a 2nd-year cornerback from Rutgers, a first-round pick, making the interception play. So the Bills now have turnovers in their last 2 possessions, and the Patriots with a 28-21 lead. Brady firing away, on target again, blocker in front. Hernandez. He's now down inside the 15 and down to the 2. 44-yard pass play.
Good hustle down the field by Chris Kelsey, Don, making that tackle, but Hernandez gets that ball. It's Gronkowski. He's got out in front of him. He just leaves him. Cuts back inside, tries to pick up another blocker on the backside. That's Lusaka Polite, the new fullback. And Kelsey comes all the way from the defensive end position on the backside.
What a comeback by the Patriots. Ring Ellis is in. And the Patriots inching closer to home field in the AFC playoffs. 104th meeting with the Buffalo Bills. Bills owner Ralph Wilson, 92 years young, has seen every one. But the Patriots showing what they're all about. They never panic. They keep playing.
Well, Buffalo jumped out to that 21-0 lead, Don, and then it was just a matter of speeding up the offense, catching the ball, and taking advantage of this Buffalo defense. Suddenly 35-21.
11-16 still to play, so Ryan Fitzpatrick, 2 touchdown throws and 2 interceptions. This is a ball off the hands of his receiver. The quick strike offense of the Patriots after the Bills were driving, the interception, and then 2-play, 47-yard drive, the big play, the catch and run by Hernandez of 44 yards. And now the Patriots with 35 unanswered points after they trailed in this game 21-0. Justin Rogers steps out of bounds, and really, for Fitzpatrick, it's an all-out throwing game now. Took a while for the Patriots to get up to speed, but they have been flying ever since they were down 21-0. 35 straight points and command of this game. And now Ryan Fitzpatrick, who had some brilliant moments earlier, has to have a lot more to get the Bills back into it. Here's a crossing pattern, a slant route to Ruvel Martin. Keep your fantasy football season going with Playoff Challenge and compete against the nation for a chance to win $5,000. Sign up now at cbssports.com/challenge. Bills spread the field. No running back in there as they have empty backfield, and Fitzgerald's going to have to pass quicker. Fitzpatrick is going to have to pass quickly as here's the snap and here's the throw, and almost a pick again.
And the same guy, C.J. Spiller, was out at receiver. The ball bounces through his hands and goes right into the hands of Kyle Arrington, who has a chance to intercept this. And it was Spiller who bounced that ball up in the air that McCourty returned earlier on the play that really has spun this game into a must-press, must-pass situation for Buffalo.
They are all really must-pass plays now, Randy. Patriot defense was really getting chopped up early in the game. Now they're putting a lot more pressure on because they know the Bills have to throw.
Before the play clock expired, timeout Buffalo.
Timeout call, 10:39 to play, and the Patriots in the lead, 35-21. Don Criqui with Randy Cross back at Gillette Stadium. Bills from a 21-point lead, now down by 14 in the fourth quarter. And the heat's on Ryan Fitzpatrick as blitzers come. He makes a terrific throw, going to the hot receiver.
He had a timeout before that ball was snapped by New England.
New England. Their first 30-second timeout.
Guess turnabout's fair play, huh?
It's like comedy, called timing, right? The New England Patriots in position to win home field advantage in the American Conference with a victory here today. Had they lost and they were down 21-0, Baltimore would have had a chance. So would Pittsburgh. Baltimore with the best chance. If the Patriots had lost, Baltimore would get into the #1 slot with a win over the Bengals.
Well, Don, how about that 6th seed in general? Because that's Cincinnati and everybody else rated in the hunt.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of moving parts in there.
Jets down by 6, but driving at the present time against Miami, but the Jets need a lot of help. Tom Brady gave a lot of help to his Patriots when things looked very bleak. He's come on now to complete 16 of 27 for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. Making big throws when they counted most. As the Patriots, a team that truly has in the Lombardi X him achieve competitive greatness for a lot of years. Long ball. Nice break up. Linebacker Jerod Mayo.
How about Jerod Mayo running step for step with C.J. Spiller on that man coverage down the field? You saw that matchup. That's why Ryan Fitzpatrick threw the ball where he did. He thought it was a mismatch. Nice.
Middlebacker taking the first back out in coverage, and he did it beautifully. So now Julian Edelman, number 11, drops back for the Patriots. They're going to get the ball again as Ryan Moorman is ready to punt. Edelman lets it bounce. And it's down to the 12-yard line.
That was a bomb by Moorman. That thing was high, turned over, and just kept on going.
65-yard punt. Last week after the Patriots' comeback win over Miami, Bill Belichick presented the game ball, and offensive lineman Matt Light presented a painting of the Patriots as the Patriots huddled together towards the initials of MHK in honor of Robert Kraft's late wife, Myra, who lost her battle with cancer in July. Myra Kraft was a beloved figure throughout New England for her tremendous and nonstop effort for the greater good of so many charities. She was in it for what's in it for you, and very lovely woman, and still very much in the memory of this team. They dedicated the season to her. Here's a throw to Gronkowski, and Brady is really on target now.
And he's got his big tight end working out, and he's getting man coverage the last couple of times he's been at it, and he's just putting the ball in the perfect spot for Gronkowski.
Perfect spot, takes it out to the 31-yard line.
You heard that huge reaction. That was to a interception by the Miami Dolphins in that Jets game. They were showing here on the big screen. The fans, I think, are going to enjoy not seeing New York in the playoffs.
Here now is Jarvis Green Ellis, and they call law firm. Succeed, and that's the others are in contention for that, but Bengals are in if they can beat Baltimore. Bengals really haven't beaten a good team though this year, even though they're 9-6.
And the Raiders obviously still in the mix for the West title, with Denver taking on Kansas City, but they're also in the mix for that 6th seed.
Denver with a win is in. Denver with a loss, no matter what anybody else does, is out. Only if that would be if Oakland lost, they could get in as a division champion, but right now Denver in a clean position to win its way into the playoffs. Let's go back to New York and JB.
This does not help the Jets.
Randy, you just talked about it. It's Mark Sanchez. It's his 3rd interception on the day. This time he's intercepted by Marvin Mitchell, the linebacker, not the lawyer. And he's going to take it all the way back into New York Jet territory. Miami Dolphins leading 16-10. They're in the red zone against the Jets, not looking good.
Don and Randy.
Hey, Boomer, Marvin Mitchell only would have taken 50% of that interception. I think this one took the whole thing.
Green Ellis now playing possession football, pounding the ball. Barnett on the stop. The Patriots running the clock down to 8:07 to play. Bills challenged by their coach to play like pros last week. Came out of a 7-game losing streak with a rout of the Broncos. Looking to keep it going today, and they did with a tremendous onslaught in the first quarter, taking a 21-0 lead. And then the Patriots, as they so often do, most of the time came back. Okay, from a crowd standpoint, Randy, this is a playoff atmosphere. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Verizon. Join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights.
And you want to get a little more information before that Denver, Kansas City, and Oakland, San Diego, and Cincinnati, Baltimore. Those great playoff-worthy games all get going.
Brady looking deep. Long ball. Overthrown. Hernandez was the target. Wilson was the defender. Well, as we talked to Bill Belichick, he said, you know, that all this talk about where we'll be positioned, who we might play, that's not our focus. We want to concentrate on one thing, beating the Bills. We didn't do it last time.
Well, you know, like it or not, though, when this game's over, all attention will turn on the last 2 seasons. And the fact that they've lost those games in the playoffs in that divisional round right off the get-go. 2 years ago to Baltimore, last year to the Jets here at home.
Hernandez breaking tackles on a 3rd down catch. He's got a 1st down. Aaron Williams makes the stop.
And I think, Don, part of the attention to detail, part of the let's finish this team off attitude that Bill Belichick and this offense have right now relates back to this is their last live reps until it's win or out. Until it's you have a bad day, you go home for the rest of the offseason.
You know the championship run from your 3 seasons at the world champion teams at San Francisco. Playing that one less game, having home field is huge. That's what Belichick singled out. He said, big thing when you're a 1 or 2 seed, you play one less game. Hernandez having a big game. He's got 7 receptions for the Patriots for 138 yards and a touchdown. Ridley on that run down to the 25.
But doing it the hard way is not impossible either. I mean, it's nice to have the rest for injuries and everything else, but you see what the Giants have done recently, what the Packers did last year. Sometimes just keeping on playing for teams and having a chance to keep improving is better than the rest.
Brady pump fakes, then checks down. And Welker sprints out of bounds with some plus yards. Caught 5 today for 40 yards. He has 121 for the season.
You know, the great thing about this drive from the New England Patriots perspective is it's run, it's pass, it's reverses, and it's keeping Ryan Fitzpatrick and that Buffalo offense on the sideline just watching New England, much like Buffalo did in New England in the first half.
Bills, Randy, are scoreless now in their last 7 possessions as Brady looks for more, but they get Brady. New England is the #1 seed in 03. That 14-2 year, they went on to win the Super Bowl. In 07, that perfect season in the regular season, and they ended up losing the Super Bowl to the Giants, and then lost a divisional playoff game in 2010.
Man, there's no delusions. I think for the Patriots, they stress turnovers, and they're one of the best teams in the league in turnover margin as a defense. Turnover and red zone defense, because they do give up a lot of yards.
Well, coming to this game, they led the American Conference in turnover margin. They're plus 14. The 49ers, your former team, Randy, plus 26.
And they're plus 2 on the day. Buffalo has 3 turnovers. They have 1.
30-second timeout.
Game clock down to 4:28 to play. So what do you do now? You get the week off. They give you some extra days off and get back at it?
You'll get a few extra days off. I think this is the kind of team here in New England where you'll have guys coming in and working anyway.
From NCIS and CSI to the Good Wife and the Medalist, if you're looking for the best in drama, you need to look only one place, only CBS.
I'm a little biased. I like my old college quarterback, Mark Harmon, and NCIS and that whole group.
Yeah, he was an option quarterback with UCLA.
Wishbone.
He had a Heisman Trophy winner, Michigan. They don't take their foot off the pedal, do they?
Nope. Just, and the term I love to use with an offense like this, because it's like this in Green Bay, it's like this in New Orleans. They are brutally efficient. And you know what they're going to do. You know they're going to feature their tight ends. You know they're going to feature Wes Welker. But it's a matter of when they're going to do all those things, and they just find a way to just methodically move the ball especially in this instance. There's no reason to score fast. Score slow and eat clock.
They're doing that. 3:48 to go. Brady gets another touchdown pass today. He'll have 300 for his career. He's in his 12th year. 6th-round draft choice. Remember when I talked about Kraft about him and said it's pretty amazing all these teams passed on Brady 6 times. Kraft said, well, we passed on him 5 times.
There's something about Brady. Remember in 08 when he blew his knee out? You know, in 2009, 2010, and 2011, Bob Kraft's quarterback has thrown for 102 touchdowns of those nearly 300 just in the last 3 years.
He's pitching again. He's on target. Gronkowski.
300 for Brady and 17 touchdown receptions for Gronkowski now.
The beat goes on. Well, they worked on that on Friday a long time and crossing that into the big tight end. He can go up and get it. 6'6", 265.
Well, if they don't get you with a tight end crossing, they're going to get you with Wes Welker crossing behind one of the tight ends. It's pick your poison.
Gronkowski, in his 2nd year, he missed his senior season at the University of Arizona with a back injury. Dropped to the 2nd round. Been all pro now. Certainly a contender for it.
Yeah, 17 touchdown receptions and 1 rushing touchdown.
Patriots this time go 88 yards in 14 plays, using up almost 7.5 minutes.
$21-0 lead by the Buffalo Bills. They looked like they were going to have their day of the year. Their whole job was they had it made in the shade. Just be sure the tree didn't fall on you. And the tree fell on them.
The Bills started the day, as Bills fans started thinking about the draft, tied for the 10th draft position with Kansas City.
Yeah, you got to think that if somewhere here there's 3 minutes left, Buffalo has 1 timeout left, you got to think Brady's day is done. And he'll end up number 2 all-time season yardage-wise behind Drew Brees, because Drew Brees also is having one heck of a game in their game down there.
Gronkowski ready to kick it off. Once again. You know you're on a good team when you're kicking off a lot. Justin Rogers downs the ball in the end zone, and the Bills come out to their 20 as the Patriots are sending their fans home early. What a second half for the Patriots. Here's Gronkowski almost uncovered. He's just eaten up.
That came off of Spiller's right hand. That got knocked up in the air. McCourty got it. Then Hernandez takes this long one with some nice blocks out in front of him.
There's a 44-yarder down to the 3.
Then Jarvis Green-Ellis for that touchdown, and now Gronkowski's 17th touchdown reception of the year, and Tom Brady's 300th of his fabulous career.
How long does he plan to play? As long as he can is his philosophy, Tom Brady. Knock out another one. Pick 6. Sterling Moore again jumps a route. And from a football celebration in the first quarter for the Bills, it's going to be a horrendous loss, a blowout loss.
Well, that looked like one heck of a catch by Sterling Moore. Because it almost looked like Ryan Fitzpatrick put this ball in a pretty good spot from this perspective, and he sort of snatched it out of the air with his back hand, with his right hand reaching around.
That's Moore's second pick of this game, rookie from SMU. 49-21.
Right in the middle of the screen. Oh yeah, he gets both hands on it. That ball is thrown behind the receiver, right where Moore was.
Took it away from David Nelson.
Snatched it out of the air, bobbled it a little bit, but yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick came into this game with 19 interceptions on the year and just suffered his 3rd interception of the day.
I'll tell you one thing, maybe spend time with Fitzpatrick, though. He's not going to go into a funk and say, woe is me. He's going to just do whatever it takes to get better. And they're going to have to surround him. The Bills really are looking at defense in the draft and free agency. Chan Gailey said to us, he said, we've really not been a good defense all season.
Well, you saw why in this game in a couple instances. One is what they look like in the backside when they had the lack of coordination. They've dropped some coverages. And the bottom line for them is you've got to go after a big dog pass rusher. I'm talking about just a guy that eats quarterbacks for lunch.
Gostowski wearing out that play, kicking off, kicking extra points.
Remember, this is Stevie Johnson's 4th year, so he's going to be a free agent at wide receiver. Do you want him back?
Well, he's a tremendous player, almost 80 catches this year, but after the touchdown catch, he pulled up his jersey. He had a Happy New Year sign, and he got a excessive celebration penalty, and he hasn't been back in the game since.
You know, in the history of the Buffalo Bills, think of all the great receivers and quarterbacks, and, you know, Andre Reed to name one, but there's been a bunch. And they've never had a receiver get back-to-back years with 1,000 yards receiving. And he's the first one. That touchdown catch put him over 1,000 yards for 2011.
He's been a very productive guy. But in the spirit of good fun and a Happy New Year, he hit the bench for the day after the touchdown catch.
How about the spirit of knowing better? Is there any spirit like that?
Right. Yeah, turned into an unhappy New Year for him. Bills still chucking. It's too little, so far too late. 104th meeting between these teams that date back to the original American Football League. Patriots have been winning playoffs and Super Bowls in their first 34 years. What, they have one playoff game? Bills get a first down out to the 36-yard line. David Nelson. Gerard Mayo makes the stop. It's interesting when Ryan Fitzpatrick had some interesting things to say. He said, this is the last go-round for our team. When you don't make the playoffs, a lot of guys aren't going to be back. And there's going to be changes. We know that. It's a close team, he said. Spiller runs as we get down to the 2-minute warning. 49-21 Patriots. Tom Brady and the Patriots. Divisional champions for the 9th time in the last 11 years. And they'll be on the home field. They've gained home field advantage with this win today over the Bills. And a remarkable comeback. Down by 21 points in the first quarter. The Patriots have now scored 49 straight points. Downfield throw. Intercepted again. Kyle Arrington, penalty marker is down where the contact was made. And Arrington's down to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's going to be against Devin McCourty, working as part of that double team.
McCourty is down, holding his leg also. As the Patriot training staff comes out. It's on his back.
Personal foul, number 32 of the defense. Hit on the defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, previous spot. First down.
So McCourty in a lot of pain. He was holding his left leg when he went down. Here's the contact, hitting a defenseless receiver, was ruled. Negates the interception by Kyle Arrington. But here you are celebrating a great win on the home field, Randy, and a starting corner's down.
He looks like he banged knee to knee right against Ruvel Martin. And he does hit Martin there in the upper part of his shoulder slash head when he's coming through. And we talked about earlier that that's just one thing that they won't tolerate. The receiver, as they termed it, defenseless. But defenseless is one thing, but hitting him high when you do it is going to get you a flag.
That's good. He's looking better as he walks off. Now he's running off, which is a very good sign for the Patriots in McCourty. And he is roundly saluted. So now the ball is going to be positioned just inside the 45-yard line of the Patriots with 1:41 left to play. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Randy, he didn't back off. He's going to be flinging. He's got spread formation. Home run ball. Intercepted again. Antoine Molden with the pick. Target was Hagan. And now with 1:30 left to play, the Patriots, you would think, will go to the run game. Go to a happy locker room.
Yeah, a couple of runs, a couple of victory formations. There's one timeout left for Buffalo, and Ryan Fitzpatrick needed to throw that one on the outside with two defenders inside for New England, but here you have Brian Hoyer, the backup quarterback, getting his first snaps of the 2011 season, and they come in 2012.
People were wondering, would Tom Brady play today? Well, he played all right. 338 yards and 3 touchdown throws. I'll tell you, they're going to keep going. Gronkowski goes up and gets it. Brian Hoyer in the game, the backup quarterback. Free agent out of Michigan State puts a nice ball on the hands of Gronkowski from 23 yards out.
Well, if you're into form and appearances, you want to see him down the ball and run out the clock and go away. If you haven't gotten your backup quarterback any reps, you wouldn't mind seeing what Brian Hoyer can do at least one time, and that's what they'll see is one time of throwing.
And now they do go into the victory formation and down the ball.
So it's a perfect rating, isn't it, for Hoyer for the season?
Yeah.
One throw, one long completion.
New England has wrapped up home field. We're informed the Jets have lost, so they're gone from the playoff picture. And Baltimore looking to get the number 2 seed in the AFC with an upcoming game today at Cincinnati.
And Cincinnati looking to get themselves a wild card. If they can pull a win over those same Baltimore Ravens. That's a talented team in Cincinnati. It really is. Marvin Lewis done a good job with those guys.
They come back here for the Bengals, but right now the beat goes on in New England. Continuing success story. The Patriots win again. Coming up next, the Chiefs and the Broncos at Denver. A win for the Broncos and they win the division. San Diego at Oakland. Raiders still have a chance, but Denver has to lose. That's it. These longtime rivals exchanging good fellowship as the best team won again today. New England 49, Buffalo 21. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our doubleheaders. Most of you will see Kansas City and Denver. For Randy Cross, this is Don Criqui saying so long from Foxborough. Coming up, the NFL Today, presented by Verizon. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights after this.